Firstly, I'd like to discuss a strictly local issue, the Byhalia pipeline, with Mr. Pinkham. Mr. Pinkham, we've talked about this, and I appreciate your time, and I look forward to working with you on this. The Byhalia crude oil pipeline goes through low-income African-American communities that have been burdened with a lot of industrial pollutants for years. One of the representatives of the pipeline company called this the point of least resistance. In the city of Memphis, many people in the city of Memphis are up in arms about it, feeling that this is wrong to put another potentially hazardous facility of our project, which could leak into our aquifer through this community and jeopardize the drinking water from the well field that goes through this community. The Army Corps permitted the construction through the 2017 version of nationwide permit NWP 12. The Corps is committed to a environmental policy and being a good partner in the environment, and yet this project was not taken into consideration community issues. As the Corps is committed to securing environmental justice,
and then I want to have the answer, and then at the same time,
consider environmental justice.
And
the Corps has an obligation to consider those effects now for this community.
Then ask them that, let's set up a meeting.
Representative Steele, please mute your mic, Representative Steele.
Mr. Pinkham, are you there?
I'm here, Representative Cohen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you for your letter, and also thank you for taking a call from me to discuss this project. And you're right. And I've shared with the Corps leadership that I'd be working on taking a review of the Byhalia project. And you're right. There are some concerns about the environmental justice. What are the impacts to the groundwater, the water that the community relies on? And those are two concerns that I don't take lightly. I'm still taking a look at the project. I got a briefing from the Corps of Engineers, and I'd like to arrange an opportunity for a follow-up conversation as we look at what our options are ahead.
Thank you very much. This is an important issue, and I appreciate your interest. And the people in Memphis, Danny Ward, they did their job, but they didn't necessarily look at the environmental justice that the Corps looks at. Another issue in Memphis is Tom Lee Park, and the Corps helped create Tom Lee Park in the 80s with work on the bluff. Now we're looking at making it into one of the finest urban parks in the country and giving a lot of low-income people access to a park where they can enjoy the river and get outside and enjoy the nature. We've applied for we've got a Section 408 permit, which has been submitted, and I'd like to offer my strongest support for the issuance of that permit as soon as possible so construction can begin and you can help us with that project. Got your support?
Sir, this is General Spellman. First, I've been to Tom Lee Park and acknowledged it and had a great briefing from our team out there. But yes, absolutely, we look forward to working with the community on this 408 permission.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lyash, I've got a few questions for you, and I appreciate your service and your earlier remarks. You emphasized in your written material that the TVA's interest in helping work on the environment, and how much nuclear is a part of that, and how much nuclear is a part of TVA. Modular nuclear can help, but we've got this big plant, which we've talked about at length, down in Alabama and Bellefonte, that if we allow it to be attempt to be reconstructed and put back into use, we can take $10 billion of TVA assets and put them to use and really help the economy in Alabama and help Memphis citizens with the utility rates. Can you give me any hope that you will work with nuclear development to try to come up with a solution that helps both the people of Alabama who need that economic incentive and the people of Memphis who need lower utility rates and the whole people of the TVA in the country that need more energy sources that are not pollutants like the coal plants have been in the past?
Yeah, thank you, Congressman. As you pointed out, TVA is committed to driving down our greenhouse gas emissions while at the same time maintaining low prices, high reliability, and high resiliency. And there are many facets of doing that, including integration of a significant amount of renewable storage and other technologies. But you are correct. We believe preservation of and extension of our existing nuclear fleet and construction in the near term and construction of new nuclear in the long term, 2030s into 2040s, has got to be a part of that solution. Our strategy in nuclear focuses on extending the lives of our current fleet, uprating them to get more from them, building light water small modular reactors and advanced modular reactors that can be replicated across TVA and perhaps across the country or the world. We evaluated completing the Bellefonte plant, and our decision as an entity was that it was neither cost effective nor in the interests of our customers to do so, to invest in that 60-year-old technology, rather more cost effective to invest in new nuclear technologies. We are, as you know, we are currently in litigation with Nuclear Development, who had a contract to purchase that plant, but it didn't meet the conditions to close, and it would have been illegal for us to close. That lawsuit is pending, so I need to refrain from commenting on it. But
let me interrupt you for a second. Let me interrupt you just a second, which I hate to do because you're so kind to me in your earlier remarks, but have limited time. Hopefully you can resolve that. It does seem like Bellefonte's a place that could be really important for everything you stand for. But another thing is the coal ash in Memphis. We talked about that too, and you promised me you're going to do what you can to remove the coal ash at the Allen Steam Plant, which caused, by the way, a lot of the problems with people in Boxtown, in that district I talked about, Byhalia. They have Valero oil and the TVA coal plant. They have 4 times the cancer of people, other people in similar conditions. It's partly because of that. Can you not expedite the removal of that coal ash? Because it affects our Memphis aquifer as well, and it affects the people in that neighborhood.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Can you answer the question?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Congressman, it is a top priority for us to safely and effectively dispose of that coal ash by removing it and moving it to a licensed landfill. And we are committed to mitigate groundwater contamination that may be there as a result of the coal ash and restore that site to a good purpose, economic development for that community. Beginning in late July, after we finish our permitting process with TDEC and EPA, we'll begin moving that ash out of there by truck. We'll be transporting 120 trucks a day and moving that out as quickly as we can safely do so. And you have my commitment that we'll work that project until it's acceptably complete.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Madam Chair. I yield back
You're
to
very
Beth.
welcome, sir.